introduce you to a very lonely trumpet, because this trumpet, quarter-tone trumpet, there are quite a few people with quarter-tone instruments, quarter-tone flugels, Marco Blau, Marco Stockhausen, quarter-tone trumpet, Marco Blau, as a guy in Canada, Don Ellis back in the 70s. I think he had a whole trumpet section in his big band that played quarter-tone trumpets. The trumpet I will play on in a minute is not quite yet there. This is a normal B-flat trumpet, but I had to develop an instrument that could play 19 notes to the octave, 19 divisions of the octave. Now, I'm no tuning theorist, but 19 division of the octave, basically, you divide the octave into 19. And it's sort of relative to third common mean tone temperament from the early Baroque. If anyone's seen these split keyboards of Zarlino, the 19 division is a bit more an equal version of that tuning. So it's actually a very old tuning, 19 division. If you imagine one octave of a piano keyboard, and you get an axe, and you split all the black notes in two, and you add an extra note between E and F, and between B and C, you have 19 keys. So in effect you have visually 19 notes of the octave. I didn't want to take an axe to my trumpet. What I did instead is I measured the length of the trumpet overall. I divided it by 19 to see how long a piece of tubing would need to be for the trumpet to be 19, because the trumpet's a cylindrical instrument. It's only really here where the bell section starts to taper and become more conical, thank you. See, my English isn't that good anymore. Yeah, and so what I did was I decided upon different proportions of tubing. So the first valve is normally mouthpiece. How low does the first valve in the trumpet lower a note? By how much? Anybody know? By a tone. It's 2 half-tone steps. And in 19 division, a tone is actually 3 steps. So I have 3 19s on my first valve slide. And the second valve slide, what do you think? How many tones was the second valve? Sorry? Semitone, yeah, so a half valve step. So what I chose for the second valve slide was 2 19s. And then the problem then becomes with the third valve slide, because initially I wanted to do 4 19ths. The problem was would have had to have cut my instrument up. So I ended up with 5 steps, 5 19 steps. How does this work? I've never done this before. And things like that, I think. So, and then, of course, I need a valve that has only one 19th step. So I built it into the tuning slide, just as I built the quarter tone into the tuning slide on the C trumpet. Now, the reason why most microtonal instruments, trumpets, have 4 valves is that the lowest interval on the trumpet is a 5th. And we need to bridge that with enough fingerings so there's no gap anywhere. So actually having a bit more of tubing on the third valve slide helped me bridge this gap, so I could play chromatically in 19. another reason why I chose these proportions was when you change your instrument, the first thing you think is, oh God, I've learned this instrument for years and now I'm changing it. That could mean different fingerings, different ways of blowing, different ways of using the lips. In actual fact, I chose these proportions because the fingerings for the 19 division trumpet are very much based on normal standard, bog standard trumpet fingerings. So when I play the flats, okay, I use a normal fingering plus the 1/19th plus my third finger on the left hand. This is E flat, and therefore I play G flat. And then the sharps all have the normal sharp fingerings, and the normal notes, natural notes, have the normal natural fingerings. So that meant I could practice very quickly on this instrument from a technical point of view. I didn't have to learn too many extra fingerings. You might think, well, why did you choose 19? You know, why didn't you choose 20 or 18? And the quick answer is that originally we were Donald and I were part of a project from the Centre of New Musical Instruments down the road at London Guildhall, and now called London Metropolitan University. And they were working on an instrument that they could convert between 12, 24th, a quarter tone, and 19 division. And Don had written some music for that. And after I was no longer involved with that project, we had this repertoire. So basically, I wanted a practical solution that didn't cost £3,000 to build a new instrument. Can you guess how much it cost to convert this instrument? Sorry? £1,000. It cost me €200 for all these slides and the valve, and another 200 for the quarter tone. So I had a very quick. It was good. It cost me very little money because I was completely skint back then. I'll just play an octave on the instrument again, so you hear the trumpet.